to step up. It's time for morning number 1 at the Northern and Interior Divisionals for the girls' 200-meter individual medley. This is heat 1 of 9. Best of luck to all athletes.
Y'all ready for this?
Leading turn, 1/4 into our first race of the morning. It's lane number 6 and Kootenay Swim Club's Hannah Reed, followed up lane number 1, Clara Ball for Kelowna. Fort St. John Canoe Swim Club, Everleigh Sterling in lane O, bringing up 3rd at the end of the fly. Leading out 124.92, now 10 meters on the competition. Reed in lane 6, followed up a turn time of 133.87 in lane number 1. That time showing for Clara Ball, however, possible light touch at the 100. Nonetheless, Everleigh Sterling leading out into the breaststroke leg, just ahead of Ball, is 2nd, ahead of Ball's 3rd place. A move for first from Sterling, coming in towards 150, gaining some big ground over Reed in 6th. Fastest turn, 2:18.49 into the final lap of the race. Followed second, 2:23.32 in O by Sterling, and for 3rd. Lane 3, Alexa Paraboom for Vernon. Despite some big ground gains through the 150-meter leg of the race, Sterling will be finishing 2nd to 1st place in 6th, 2:58.49 on the clock. For Hannah Reed of Kootenay Swim Club in lane number 6. 2nd place in lane O for Sterling, 3:04.40, and 3rd, lane 4, is Canada. That is Mila Canada for Kamloops. Heat 2 behind the blocks. 100 meters in to race number 2. Leading to our 5 and 3, Ainsley Campbell, Lux Borden, Kisu, and Kootenay Swim Club. $100-meter mark turn was a 120.68 for Key. Bernhardt following 124.91. Couple seconds gap between our leading two. Third place at the moment is Harbor Havens for Kelowna in lane O. Into our 150, 3 leading. Borden just ahead of Campball. About a bike length ahead for the 50 freestyle start. And for third, over in lane O now, Havens at a 2:21.95. Maintaining the bike length lead into the final, through the final 50. Borden will be the top time in Heat 2 at 2:52.29. So far, the fastest time overall for the girls' 200-meter individual medley. Second in 5 is Campbell with a 2:53.81. And for third, Leno, Harper Havens for Kelowna. Heat 3, behind the blocks, Heat 3. Coaches and athletes, we have a disqualification, event 1, heat 2, lane 4. That is again a disqualification, event 1, heat 2, lane 4. The 100-meter turn was a 1:22.52 in lane number 8 for Perrin Folks of Prince George Barracudas. 50 later, Folks continues to lead. Followed second now, up from third from the 100-meter mark is Taya Prochotsky for Kelowna in 4, and third, Avalon Ellis for Vernon Kokanee Swim Club in lane 2. 15 to go, looking good in 4 for Prochotsky. Top seed in the heat at 3 minutes 68. Good finish as well in 8 for Ellie Lagarde of Kelowna. Fastest time, just by a few tenths of a second, is however Prochotsky in 4. Top time in the heat at 2:55.08, followed 6 tenths later by Lagarde in lane 8. Third into the wall, 3 minutes 85 on the clock in 6 for Marie-Aude Chouinard of Terrace Bluebacks. Heat 4 up next. While the top of Heat 3, Prochotsky's time does not upset our high point, currently standing at 2:52.29. That time again, Borden in Heat 2. This is now Heat 4 underway. Coming into our 150-meter mark turn, it's a body length up front of the field in 7. Body length up front of second, that is. Alexiana Bosencool for Kelowna, leading the field. Second place, lane 4, Holly Scranton in lane number 4. Into the final 5, building up from a body length to double that into the finish. Top time will be Bosencool for Kelowna, a 2:47.92. Second fastest finish in 4:250.06 is Holly Scranton for second, representing Columbia Shuswap. Heat 5, behind the blocks, Heat 5. Including our heat in the pool, we got 5 races to go in the girls' 200-meter individual medley. This is heat 5 of 9. Our top seed in this heat is Kamloops Classics' Misty Hayes at a 2:49.84. Second fastest seed in heat, Kamloops Classic teammate to Hayes, Amy Campbell in lane number 5. Campbell's seed a 2:50.15. 50 meters in, we got a top time in lane 2 of 35.98, a correction from first down to second in lane 9. That is Lily Edstrom. $15 to go of our backstroke leg. Our top 2 equaling out. Lead now belongs to Edstrom at the end of the backstroke 50, turning for first, a 1:14.23, followed 5/10 back, 1:14.77 is second in 5 for Amy Campbell. Our current third behind Campbell in lane number 4 is lane number 6, Mile Culkins for Terrace Bluebacks, just a half wide length behind Campbell in 5. Hayes in 4, getting my pool reversed here. 75 meters to go, a 25 abreast, a 50 of free, and our leader for the time being is still lane 5, now lane 9, Lily Edstrom just ahead of Campbell in 5. Final 50, Byington a half lead at 2:03.42 for Edstrom in 9, Campbell in 5, and for third Hayes in 4. Good race into the final few meters of the 5th heat of the girls' 200. It will, however, be Edstrom holding off Campbell in 5. Top time is 2:43.20, a high points for the girls' 200 by Kelowna Aquajet's Lily Edstrom in lane 9. Close second, third for Campbell and Hayes in 5 and 4. Heat 6 behind the blocks. Leading the way in Heat 6, Lane 7 is Summer Maritsas for Prince George Barracudas. Maritsas seated at 2:48.26. Top seed in this heat is our second fastest 12 and under seed overall for the girls 200. Cranbrook Triton Swim Club's Amelia Montagne in lane 4 at a 2:47.62 seed time. A 2:47.6 as an 11-12 in relation to the 11-12 provincial standard is removed by 6.04 seconds. Tight field into the 100. The back breast turnover. We've got lane number 5, lane 6, lane 2. Sophia Rockhill, Ella Babbing, Celine Brown. Our first 2 of those named athletes representing Kelowna. Celine Brown representing Whitehorse. Claire Milne, pardon me, for Prince George Barracudas in lane 2. 15 meters of breaststroke to go. Now a breakaway through the first 25. Leader now in 6 is Babbings with a wide length over Rockhill in 5. Jenna Perwall for Kelowna coming in for what looks like 3rd in 9. 6, 5, and 9 at the 150 into the free. First half of the freestyle looking like it is ground gain for Rockhill in 5 over Perwall. Leader remains Babbings in 6. Good finish as well. Shout out to Celine Brown. Will not be in contest for 3rd in this heat, but emerging ahead of the lower lanes. Top time of the heat, a 2:43.49 in lane 6 for Ella Babbings. Moving on shortly to our 7th of 9 swims in the girls' 200 individual medley, heat number 7. Overall fastest time in the girls' 2IM still remains at 2:43.20. This back from heat number 5. Close miss by Babbings, just 3/10 off at a 43.49. Now into heat 7 where our top seed and 3rd fastest overall in the girls' 200 meter individual medley is our top 15 and 16-year-old age group seed, Lola Cameron for Kamloops Classic at a 2:30.17. Second fastest 17 and over seed in this heat as well is Paige Stout for Kamloops in 7 at a 2:39.35. (15-16) short course provincial standards is a 2:28.70. Cameron would need to drop just about a 2.3 from her seed time to achieve this standard. Leading the way at 100 meters in 5, we got Zoe Bell's second fastest seed in this heat. Represents Whitehorse Glacier Bears in 5. Followed up second in lane number 7 and 3rd in 6. Paige Stout, Amelia Rainey. Stout again representing Kamloops, Rainey for Whitehorse. .50 to go, 1:54.49 on the clock in lane 5 for Bells. Bells followed up second in 6, Rainey, and 3rd now. Lane number 4, Lola Cameron has dropped Stout in 7 down to 4th place, 20 meters to go. Fastest time by 5 meters in 5. It's Zoe Bells for Whitehorse at 2:30.25. Second place finish, 2:34 flat in 4 for Lola Cameron of Kamloops. 3rd place in 7 for Paige Stout. Heat 8, our penultimate swim for the girls 2IM behind the blocks. Coaches and athletes, we have a disqualification. Event 1, Heat 4, Lane 8. That is again a disqualification. Event 1, Heat 4, Lane 8. Penultimate swim for the girls' 200-meter individual medley. Our 8th of 9 swims in the event. Ellie Scott, our top overall seed for this heat. Second fastest seed overall for the girls' 2. Kisu Swim Club representation in lane 4 at 2:29.13. It is Scott leading into the 100-meter mark turn, 1:11.44, followed in 6 by Taylor Hurst of Kisu. Third place at the 100s in lane number 5, we have Anne-Marie Molachik for Kisu. Here looking like she is moving ahead of our previous second. Again, first in 6th through the first 25 of breaststroke. Close as well, Annika Stalker for Williams Lake in 7. However, coming into the end of the breaststroke, the 150 coming up. Half wide length lead and shrinking in lane 4 for Scott. Molachik second in 5. Current third will be a turn for Hurst at 2:60. Final 25, 2:11 high on the clock. Gathering some steam, a wide length lead now for Scott into the dying meters of heat number 8. 2:29.13 is the time to beat for Scott, and concludes out at 2:29.06, just a few hundredths under her seed time. 2:31.32, second in 5 for Anne-Marie Molachik of Kisu, and third, lane 3, is Elise Percy representing Kamloops. Behind blocks, our 9th and final swim in prelims for the girls' 200-meter individual medley. In our last 2 races, high point overall for the girls 2 has dropped from 2:43.20 in heat 5 at 2:30.25. Then in heat 7 for Zoe Bells, 2:29.06 now stands the fastest swim in the girls 200 for prelims by Kisu Swim Club's Ellie Scott. We are into our 9th and final swim for the girls 2, where our leader is top seed in the heat, lane number 4 at the 50, 31.95. That is Zion Ellis for Vernon Kokanee Swim Club. Seed time for Ellis. Overall, the fastest seed in events, 2:28.06. Then at the 50, second in 3 for Holly McIntosh, our top seed overall for the girls 13-14 age group, representing Kisu in 3. And then third in 5, Simone Mostowi representing Kelowna. Second fastest seed time in heat 9 is Mostowi at 2:30.65. A time removed from the applicable short course provincial standard by 2 seconds. Ellis in 4, 17 years of age, angling for a 2:26.80 or better. Seed time is a 28.06, needs to drop a second, 0.2. Leads through at the 100s, 1:25 now, followed second in lane 5 by Simone Mostowi. And then a close third, 4th. Lanes 3 and 2 are Holly McIntosh, as mentioned, and Kelowna's Mavis Liu in 2. Closing moments of the breaststroke leg, Liu moves ahead for third now into the final 50. Top time of the 150s, 1:51.81, followed 56.07. Our 4 and 5, Ellis and Mostowi lead into the 150. A quick flip from third, back down to fourth for Lou. McIntosh takes third back in lane 3. Top time in Heat 9, a 2:28.44. It's Ellis just over her seed time. Second fastest in 3 for Holly McIntosh, and third in 5 for Kelowna's Simone Mostoe. Coming up next behind the blocks, we got Heat 1 at 6 for Event 2, the boys 200 individual medley. Heat 1 behind the blocks. Coaches and athletes, we have a disqualification. Event 1, Heat 6, Lane 1. That is a disqualification. Event 1, Heat 6, Lane 1. .653 at the 50 in Heat 1 for the boys 2. Leading time is Miles Pechotsky for Kelowna, followed second Emmett Engel for Williams Lake, and third in 3 Ty Dosenberger for Kootenay. 5 meters to the back breast turnover. It is lock stroke now between 5 and 6. Engel narrow lead in 5, Pechotsky in 6. 1/100th of a second between our leading two, 1:20.29, 1:20.30. The 1/100th in favor of Engel in 5. Though with our 15-meter mark of breaststroke done and dusted, it's a big lead now for Pechotsky, gaining ground rapidly over Engel into the 25-meter mark of our breaststroke 50. Third still over in 3 is Ty Dosenberger for Kootenay Swim Club. Top seed in this heat, current 4th is Rowan Tyler for Kisu at a 3:04.58. We're up to a 2 body length gap on first. On second for first. Top time into the wall at the 150 mark, going to be Pechotsky. Seated in at a 3:07.71. Pechotsky turning 2:13.79 at the 150. Second, third now are coming on a head-to-head as well. This is again 6, 5, and 3. Emmett Engel and Dosenberger. With an uncontested lead into the final 5. Top time for Heat 1 will be Miles Pechotsky of Kelowna Aquajets in lane 6 at 2:50.50. Pechotsky's time dropping 17 seconds from a seed time of 3:07.71. Second fastest into the wall in 5, Emmett Engel for Williams Lake, 2:57.91, and then third in 3 is Ty Dosenberger for Kootenay Swim Club. Heat 2 coming up behind the blocks. Coaches and athletes, we have a disqualification. Event 1, Heat 8, Lane 9. That is again a disqualification. Event 1, Heat 8, Lane 9. Thanks. 50 meters into Heat 2. Our leader is top seed for this heat, Yano Kim for Kelowna. Yano Kim's time, seed time that is, a 2:46.56 on paper. Kim followed up in 6 and 5, second, third as of the Fly 50 conclusion. Fort St. John in Canoe Swim Club's Ethan Gold and Kisu Swim Club's Elijah Bradford. 50 meters later, back breast turnover is a 1:14.03 for Gold in 6. Gold up from second, the 50 prior, now second. Bradford in 5 and for third. Previous first, Kim in 4. .25 meters to go for our leading two. Leading time is in lane number 6. Holding strong, Ethan Gold for Fort St. John in Canoe Swim Club. Body length and a half, 2 body lengths ahead of 4. Yano Kim. And top time in 6. Gold at a time not quite showing on the board. The 2:41.72 showing in 4 for Kim will be second. And then appropriate third in 5 at a 2:45.46 is Elijah Bradford for Kisu. Heat 3 behind the blocks for the boys' 200-meter individual medley. Heat 3 behind the blocks.
This mic is too high. Drop it, drop it, drop it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I just been living, I feed a bankroll. How the saying go? Got it flooded to my ankles. Need a raincoat, pair of boots and a dang bow. Gotta stay flow. I might pull up in a stagecoach playing Beethoven. Didn't think that it would work. Now they coming out the woodwork. Built up my own platform. Could say I'm in the woodwork. Made the song go viral. Probably off some footwork. Well, either that or the hook work. Always think of the hook first. Now I gotta make a bag just to keep the lights on. I'm on your desktop, I'm an icon. They say icon, could you put a price on? I said I ain't selling none.
Leading into the freestyle in heat number 3, we got lane number 5, Grayson Thibodeau for Prince George Barracudas. Second and third into the 175-meter mark turn are lane 4, lane 3, lane 4 leading, Leo Rossi for Fort St. John and Canoe Swim Club. Thibodeau and Fort St. John and Canoe Swim Club's Elias Sterling locked up for a second third at the 175. Top time of the heat is a 2:27.69, then third for Sterling in 3, 2:30.234, 2:10s, 4 100ths. Ahead of that for second in 5, Thibodeau. Moving on next to heat 4 of 6 for the boys, 200-meter individual medley. Heat 4 behind the blocks. Coaches, athletes, we have a disqualification event 2, heat 1, lane 1. That is again a disqualification event 2, heat 1, lane 1. $29.72 in 5, Gabriel Ungeheuer for Terrace Blueback, followed second, Nicolas Alba Escobar for Kisu, and third, Gavin Hall for Prince George Barracudas in 4 off of the fly. Backstroke now coming to a close. 5 meters to go. Body length lead in lane number 5. It's Ungeheuer for a turn of 1:04.38. Second in lane number 2 and third in lane number 4. Positions reprised from the 50. This is again Alba Escobar for second in 2 and Hall for third in 4. Now that said, halfway through the breaststroke 50, Alba Escobar and Hall tied up at second. At least the way as it looked that way at the half. Moving to a 3/4 full blind length lead ahead of third place. That is second at 1:44.32 for Hall in 4. Alba Escobar follows for third, and final 25 now, Ungeheuer in lane 5. Fastest time will be by a bike length and a half for first, and Ungeheuer at 2:15.17 over 6/10 under the provincial standard. Short course, a 2:15.90, 15-16 age group. Second at 2:16.77 in 4 for Gavin Hall. Heat 5 coming up next. Coaches, athletes, we have a disqualification event 2, heat 3, lane 6. That is a disqualification event 2, heat 3, lane 6. Penultimate swim now for the boys 200-meter individual medley. Leading the way at the quarter mark, lane 4, Rilo Kaler for Kelowna at a 28.93. 5 and 2 are second and third at the 50. Sean Cribb for Kisu behind Kaler, and third, Lowe, Lisandro Lowe for Kisu in lane 2. 25 meters through the backstroke. It's now tight for first, second, as well as a tight third, fourth, and a half by length behind our fourth place position in lane 2, Quentin Lalonde. We got Cooper Kielbach, as well as lane number 8, Joel St. Cyr for Kisu in a race for 5th. Still anyone's race here at the end of the backstroke leg. Breaststroke, our leading 2 in 4 and 5 are Daniel Callahan, are Lilo Kaler and Sean Cribb. Not St. Cyr in 8, but Sawyer Perlstrom. And not Lalonde, but Lizandro Lowe in 2. "15 meters of breaststroke to go. Small advantage appearing now in lane number 4 for Kaler. Tee time for Kaler is second fastest overall for the boys' 200-meter individual medley. Turns for first to a time of 1:42.92, 44:58 in 5 for Cribb, and then third in 3, 1:48.48 for Christian Hickey of Columbia Shuswap in 3. Final 25, pushing the Jets on the final meters of the race. It's Kaler in 4 with a 3/4 body length lead over Cribb, touching for first. A time of 2:15.31. Also 6/10 under the provincial short course cut of 2:15.90 for first in 4. Cribb second in 5. 2:16.51. We're moving on next to our final swim in the boys' 200-meter individual medley. This is Heat 6 behind the blocks. Heat 6. Five, 7, and 6 into the 50 in our final swim for the boys 200s. Our leader, second fastest seed in the heats, fourth fastest in events is Columbia Shuswap Selkirk Swim Club's Felix Lanehurst. Lane 7, Lane Stahl for Fort St. John Canoe Swim Club brings up second at the end of the fly, and third, Nathan Hubbard for Vernon Kokanee Swim Club. Summer of 2025 is a 13-14-year-old Lanehurst, a triple bronze medalist in the 2-4 and 800 freestyle. As mentioned, the second fastest seed in this heat for our boys 200. Coming in towards now the 150, lead remains Lanehurst in 5. Bourne bringing up second, and looks to be a first place switch at the end of the breaststroke leg. Indeed, Bourne at 1:47.88, just 2/10 ahead of Lanehurst at 1:48.16. Third between the two is Callahan for Kisu in 4. Close race for first. Again, Bourne, Lanehurst 3 and 5 with 25 to go. Looks like it's going to be Lanehurst with the freestyle dominance in the 2, 4, and 8. Again, bronze medalist in all 3 of these events. As a 13-14-year-old, summer of 2025, Lanehurst tops out at 2:19.25 in 5. Moving on to next, our girls 100-meter backstroke, heat 1 of 7. We'll ask athletes to please clear the pool. once again to all of those. We're going to be moving again into Heat 1 of 7 for the girls 100 back. Heat 1. With our third event now underway for this morning's Day 1 Prelims session, we'd like to remind all those of you in attendance, Team Esquire, our t-shirt and swag vendors for the course of this weekend. Esquire Wholesalers Limited have a pop-up shop upstairs in meeting room number 2. Are vending their wares as of this morning at 9 o'clock through to 7 this evening. Back to the pool, where in our first race of the girls 100 backstroke, leading the way is lane number 4, Hannah Reed for Kootenay Swim Club, followed lane 5, Joelle Martin for Vernon Kokanee Swim Club, and Sienna Merrick for Kelowna in lane number 3. Fastest time in the pool, 1:24.88 in 4 for Reed. Heat 2 coming up behind the blocks. Six and 5 with 25 meters to go. Kendra Yeoman for Summerland Orcas. Lily Bjornsson for Williams Lake Bluefins. Small advantage looks to be closer to center pool for Bjornsson in lane number 5. 6 meters, 5 meters, and down to the touch. It's looking like it's going to be Bjornsson into the wall at a 1:20.86 for first. Second fastest at 1:21.48 is Kendra Yeoman for Summerland, lane 6. Cranbrook Tritons, Lily Tate, second for third in lane 4, heat 3, behind the blocks.
Probably shouldn't say this. Should keep it all inside.
Heat number 3, fastest time, 1:19.77. That time in lane number 4 for Elliott Brooks of Kamloops Classic. And Brook Triton Swim Club's Kerrigan Bergen for second. Heat 4 behind the blocks. Four 5 lead at the 50. Alexa Crane for Kelowna Aquajets and teammate Jetta Prawal in lanes 4 and 5. Then looking like lane number 3 and Charlotte Walkie for Cranbrook Triton into the final 25. 15 to go. It's a body length up front for Crane. Seat time's 1:18.38. And Crane for first at 1:14.33. Big drop, 4 seconds, 5/10 down from seed time, and so far, fastest in event. Prawal and Walkie bring up second and third in 5 and 3. Heat 5 behind the blocks. Coaches and athletes, we have a disqualification, 2 disqualifications, Event 2, Heat 6, Lane 8, and Event 2, Heat 6, Lane 9. Once again, those are disqualifications, Event 2, Heat 6, Lane 8, and Event 2, Heat 6, Lane 9. Halfway turn now through to 75. It's a big lead in lane number 5 in Heat 5. Heat lane match for our leader, Marin Harwood for Columbia Shuswap. 15 to go now. Harwood seated at 110.04. 15-16 age group standard for provincials, 108.50. Going to be just shy of that. Time not quite showing on the board, perhaps light touch. Nonetheless, fastest for first in lane 5 is Harwood. Second then showing us first in 4, 111.54 for Mavis Liu of Kelowna. Lily Reedman for Williams Lake as third, showing second on the board currently. Heat 6 behind the blocks, Heat 6. Top seed, Heat 6 is Kamloops Classics Paige Stout. 108.60 seed time, leads at the 50, a 33.57, followed seconds. Pardon me, that is in lane 4 for our lead, Paige Stout. .108.60 seed time, provincial standard for 17 and over, 107.90. Stout seed time, 7/10 off. For second, Taylor Hurst into the final 5 representing Kisu. Top time is in 4 at 111.42 for Stout. Hurst second in 3, no time showing currently. Then for second, we'll move over to lane 0. Third rather, Zoe Amar for Prince George Barracudas. Moving next into our 7th and final swim for the girls 200, 100 backstroke. Leading 2 into the final 50. Our top 2 seed times, Zion Ellis, Amelia Rainey in 4 and 5, representing Vernon Kokanee Swim Club and Whitehorse Glacier Bears. Quarter body length advantage for Ellis in 4 into the second half of the race. Third of the moment in lane 3, Nicola Lowe for Columbia Shuswap. Ellis seated at 108.25, Rainey at 109.48, applicable provincial standards for the 17 and over age group, and the LS 10790 and a 10850 for Rainey. 10803 is 1/10 300th short for first place. LS in 4, 10936 for second, and Rainey in 5. Low for third in 3, and we move on next to the boys. 100 backstroke and heat 1 of 6 behind the blocks. .4210 in 4. Owen Love for Williams Lake Bluefins leads our field of 3 in heat 1 of the boys 100 backstroke. Second in 5, third in 6, second in 5, third in 3. Caius McLean for Prince George Barracudas, and Kelowna Aquajets Felix Micah. Fastest time in heat 1 of the boys 100 backstroke, 1:27.58. In lane 4 is Owen Love, set our benchmark for the boys 100 back. Second place is 1:36.30 in 5 for Caius McLean. Heat 2 behind the blocks. .50 mark turn, 6 and 7. Dylan Steele, Micah Henschel, Camus Classic and Terex Bluebacks. Close for first and second. Also as well in lane number 3, lane number 2, apologies. We've got Miles Prochaski for Kelowna, close to third place. Possible for first. Ooh. Stroke miscount looks like here in lane 7, sets Henschel back a few tenths of a second. Top time into the final 5, and top position into the final 5, and top time of the race going to be Miles Prochaski for first place in 2 at 1:17.52. Second fastest in 6, 1:18.64 for Dylan Steele of Kamloops. Heat 3 behind the blocks. E3, leading time at the 50, 35.20 in lane 6. Ethan Gold, Fort St. John In Canoe Swim Club. Through the second half of the race, 1:12.55 in 3. Caleb Reed for Kisu, surging forward to top outs. Heat number 3 for the boys 100-meter backstroke. Heat 4 coming up next, behind the blocks. Tight race for first place in heat number 4. Top time going to be on the clock at 1:04.46. 2.3 ahead of second that time, and 4 for Christian Hickey. Prince Rupert, Columbia Shuswap Selkirk Swim Club. Second in 3. Columbia Shuswap's Gavin Strowich. 1:04.46 for Hickey now stands High Point Swim. A little bit more on this in just a few moments. Heat 5 behind the blocks. Heat 5. Coaches and athletes, we have a disqualification event 3, heat 7, lane 4. That is a disqualification event 3, heat 7, lane 4. As mentioned, 104.46 currently stands as of the end of Heat 4, our high point for the boys' 100-meter backstroke. Previously, 112.55 from Caleb Reed of Kisu Swim Club, a time well under the 11 and 12-year-old provincial standard of 114.90. And in addition to this, overall, unofficially, through the course of Canadian history in the 10 and under age group, a time of 112.55 unofficially ranks just under sixth fastest in Canadian history for a boy at the 10 and under age group. This replaces a time from 2019 in Lethbridge, Alberta at the Summer Festival South, swum by Cascade Swim Club's Joey Molnar, a time of 112.72. This 112.55 time in question was the time swum by Caleb Reap of Kisu, a young crusher on the 10 and under age group standings. 105.20 top time in the end of Heat 5. 105.20 in lane number 4 for Aiden Carrion Sabatino of Kelowna. Moving on now to Heat 6 of 6, the final swim for the boys 100 back. Heat 6. Yeah, replace Finley Knox. Final swim for the boys 100 backstroke. Our top three are lane 4, lane 5, lane 3, and turn at the 50 in that order. These are Hercules Gilman for Kisu Swim Club, Gavin Reedman for Williams Lake Bluefins, and Rilo Kaler for Kelowna. In lane number 3, Gilman's seed time at a 101.67. Is a second off provincial standard for 17 and over boys at 1 minute 6.0, leads by 5 meters into the conclusion of the race. 1 minute 5.0. 6.0 exactly on the provincial standard of 1 minute 6.0. Second fastest into the finish, 103.72 in 2 for Dane Bach of Columbia Shuswap. Moving now to our next event. This will be event 5, the girls 200 fly. Heat 1 of 2 behind the blocks.
But if you got everything and figured out like you say, don't waste a minute, don't wait a minute. It's only a matter of time for you to tell me now. 'Cause I've been up for 3 nights at the motel under street lights in the city of palms. Call me what you want when you want if you want, and you can call me names and you call me up.
.240.25 is our top seed time in Heat 1 of our 2 swims. For the girls 200 fly, 240.25 belonging on paper to Kamloops Classic's Amy Campbell in lane number 4. Kamloops Classic teammate to Campbell, Elise Percy in lane 5, seeded out at a 244.87. Provincial standard for the 15-16 age group, both Campbell and Percy angling for a 235.40 or better. 100-meter mark turn, 1:16.30 in 4 for Campbell. Percy following second in lane number 5. And for third, lane number 2 is Tenley Post for Kamloops. Field equaling out here at the 150, 159.69, 159.87, 2/10, just shy of that, in fact, between our leading two. Again, Campbell in 4, Percy in 5. But into the final quarter of the race, it's looking good for Percy with 25 to go, up to a half body length lead. And continuing to gain through the last quarter. Into the wall with nearly 5 meters to her name. First place in 5 with no time showing on the board currently. Elise Percy for Kamloops. Second fastest, showing 2:41.74 in lane 4, is Amy Campbell for Kamloops. And third, also not showing on the board, Heat 2 coming up next behind the blocks. Fastest time into the finish of our last heat of the girls 200 fly, a time of 2:38.45 in 4 for Amelia Anlu of Kelowna Aquajets. Second in lane number 5, McKinley Clement for Kelowna, and third. In 6, though currently no time showing on the board, Vernon Cook and East Swim Club's Dean Goldie. Next up, our first heat of the boys 200 fly, heat 1 of 2. Heat 1. One 100 meters into our first heat of the boys 2 fly, 1:02.72 is lane number 4 and Charlie Bourne for Kisu. Second and 5, carrying through from the 50, Will Bourne for Kisu. Then third, fourth, also from the 50-meter mark turn, positions unchanged, are... That is incorrect. A switch for third and fourth. Caden Roy for Columbia Shuswap and Milo McDermott for Kisu. .137 flat on the clock at the 150-meter mark turn. For Charlie Bourne, Will Bourne in 5 at 1:45.17. Now back up to third. Milo McDermott for Kisu in lane number 2. And pushing forward through the final quarter of the race, and visibly gaining ground on Roy into the last 25. 30 meters to go. McDermott in 2 turning, approximately a 2:11. Fastest time of the pool, however, is Charlie Bourne for Kisu in lane number 4 at 2:10.84 in 4. Second fastest, Will Bourne for Kisu in 5, 2:22.04. And third, wrapping up top 3 for Kisu in this heat, Milo McDermott for Kisu in 2 at 2:29.47. Moving now to our second and final swim with the boys 200 fly, heat 2, behind the blocks. 100 meters into Heat 2 and boys 2 fly. Top time, Kamloops Classic, Holland Lee, seated in at a 2:16.57. Starts us off with a 29.10 up to 102.22 at the 50-meter mark turn. 33.1 on the second 50. Seat time again at 2:16.57 is 2 seconds, 3.5 tenths off of the provincial standard. Short course at 2:14.30. Bit of a slower turn here, 1:37.18. 50 number 3, 35. 34 high. Second in lane number 3 is Eli Arthur for Kelowna. 1:53.14 on the clock for third in lane 5 for Chase McWilliam. 10 meters to go for Holland Lee of Kamloops Classic. 2:10 on the clock under the flags, and into the wall going to be 2:14.46, just shy of the 17 and over standard. We'll need to drop a further 10th and a half for the standard tonight in finals. Second fastest into the wall, lane number 3. 2:30.16 on the clock to finish, and Eli Arthur for Kelowna. Third fastest in 5, Chase McWilliam for Prince Rupert. Wraps up our top 3 for the boys to fly in heat number 2. Rapid fire racing coming up next here. Event 7 is the girls' 50-meter breaststroke. Our first of 6 swims in the event. Heat 1 behind the blocks. Close to a wide length lead into the finish for heat number 1. Top time in lane 4, 43.68 sets our benchmark for the girls' heats to follow. That time swum by Everleigh Sterling of Port St. John in Canoe Swim Club. Heat 2 up next. Second, third in that previous heat, Alexis Vandeveer for Summerland Orcas in 2, and Blake Bernhardt for Kelowna in 3. Heat 2 now underway, off our 25. 35, and leader again here in lane number 4 is Lily Bjornsson for Williams Lake Bluefins. Bjornsson's seed time at 44.32. Into the wall, top time going to be a 42.40 for Bjornsson. Followed second by Skylar Bartland for Whitehorse in lane 3. Heat 3. E3, Prince George Barracuda's Rachel Black, our top seed in the pool. Now that said, lower lanes leading the way into our final 15 are lane 0, 1, and 2. Soleil Bjornsson for Williams Lake, Harper Havens in 1 for Kelowna, and Cranbrook Triton's Amelia Mondain in lane number 3. Also in the mix in 8, Holly Scranton for Columbia Shuswap. It's going to be first, however, for Mondain at 41.92 in 2. Fastest time so far for the girls 50 breast by Mondain. Heat 4 up next. Fastest time in the event now by 0.5 of a second for Mondain in that previous heat. Top seed Heat 4 is Emily Berman for Summerland Orcas at a 37.01. 2.5 tenths, 2.6 tenths ahead of the Kamloops Classic seed time for Isabel Bailey at 37.27. This time it is our top seed leading through the first half of the race. And Berman for Summerland Captain Gray in 4 with a half by length lead over 3. Lily Edstrom. Parties 2 is Stella Lepage. Top time, however, 37.12 in 4 for Berman, now fastest in event. Heat 5 behind the blocks. .37.12 stands our high point. It's an ultimate swim for the girls 50 breasts. Top seed here, Anne-Marie Malachik for Kisu at 36.43. At 15 years of age, Malachik's seed time is just 4 tenths off of the provincial standard of 36.00. Second fastest seed in the event is lane 5, Claire Tracy for Columbia Shuswap. This is the 5th fastest overall seed in event. Body length lead for Malachik into the wall, 36.27. Under seed time, not quite enough for the standard. Second in heats, lane 3 is Kenna Fraser for Kamloops, and heat 6 coming up next. Final swim for the girls 50 breaststroke. Amelia Onlu for Kelowna, seated in lane 4 at 36.03. This is the time just 3/100ths off of the provincial standard. Again, for the 15-16 age group, 36.00. This time, however, lane 3, Simone Mostolia leading for Kelowna. Seed time for Mostolia, 37.63, and current third in 6, Stephanie Sears behind Lou. Top time in 3 is Mostolia at 36.42. Overall fastest time in event stands for prelims 36.27 for Malachik, the heat prior. We move on now to the boys 50 breast, heat 1 of 5. Tight field of 3 in Heat 1 for the boys 50 breast. Top seed here is Emerson Patagam, currently up in the mix with Ty Dosenberger of Kootenay Swim Club, battling for first place. Top seed is a 43.52 for Eric Patagam, representing Summerland in 4. Currently, it's quarter body length lead for Patagam into the final 2 strokes, topping out 43.10, Flower 4/10 under his seed. Second for Dosenberger, and Heat 2 behind the blocks. Top seed Heat 2, Keystone Swim Club Zach Reap in lane number 4. Reap seed a 38.75. That said, currently leading Milo McDermott for Keystone at 40.17 on paper. Fastest into the wall by just a couple tenths of a second, 37.78 in 5 for McDermott representing Keystone. 38.25. 5 tenths behind that in lane number 4 is Reap, and Heat 3 up next. McDermott's time stands top of the board so far for the boys 50 breasts overall, irrespective of age group. Heat 3, top seed Jacob McNamee is representing Keystone, seated in at a 32.21. The 17 and over standard, a 31.30. Going to be McNamee into the wall for first, just ahead of lane number 2, and Sean Cribb for Keystone touching second, 32.31. Fastest though, McNamee 31.57. Drops our high point swim nearly exactly 6 seconds. Moving now to heat number 4, behind the blocks. Heat 4, second fastest overall seed for the boys 50 breasts, 18 years of age. Peter Joubert for Prince Rupert Swim Club, 32.10. Joubert up in front. Second in lane number 2 is Julian Allaire for Williams Lake, just ahead of Aiden Carey on Sabatino. Top time in for 32.56 for Joubert. Second and 2 for Allaire at a 33.69. Moving now to Heat 5, final swim for the boys 50 breast. Heat 5. .31.57, our standing high point from McNamee in Heat 3. Heat 5 now underway. Top overall seed for the event in 4 is Keystone Swim Club's Charlie Bourne at a 31.94. Dane Bach for Columbia Shuswap Landando. Our second and third fastest in this heat. 32.34 for Bach is also 4th fastest overall in events. Into the wall, fastest time going to be Bourne in 4 at 31.65. Overall fastest time for the boys 50 breast stands the 31.57 in prelims for Jacob McNamee of Kisu. Just a couple hundredths off of that by Bourne with 31.65. And we're going to be moving on next to our alternating time finals for the girls and boys 400 free. These are events 9 and 10, girls and boys 400 freestyle. Our first 4 heats in both events for both genders will be swimming tonight with finals. These are the 17 and over, 15, 16, 13, 14, and 12 and under age groups respectively. We will be starting with Heat 9 overall for the combined races. This will be Heat 5 for the girls 400 freestyle. One 11.24 in 4 for Elise Percy, representing Kamloops Classic. Our lead off of the 50 as well. Followed second, 50 and 100 meters second as well. Cameron Bergen for Cranbrook Triton. Third place in some contests. At the 50 was Shelby Slang for Kelowna. Now at the 106, Sophia McDonald for Prince Rupert. Fourth place at the moment, Claire Milne for Prince George. Our 150 turn, 148.02 lead in 4 for Percy. Positions unchanged at the 150, 4, 5, 6, and 2 are top 4. 25 meters to go. And it is lane number 4, uncontested through the duration of this race. Elise Percy for Kamloops into the wall, going to be 4:50.07. Second in lane 6, wide length ahead of third. It's 5:03.25 for Sophia McDonald and Prince Rupert. Bergen in 5 for that third place position at 5:05.71. We next move into the boys 400 freestyle. This is swim 10 overall for their combined events 9 and 10. The girls and boys 4 free. Heat 5 on the boys' side. Heat 5. At the 103 for Team Clark of Vernon Kokomi Swim Club. Gage Johnson for Cranbrook Triton, second, currently 6. Joel St. Cyr for Kisu is third, and up for 4th, Gavin Francis for Williams Lake in lane 1. $255.56 in now at 250. Gain Clark of Vernon Kokomi Swim Club followed up second, 6, third, 2. Joel St. Cyr, Gage Johnson. This is a reversal from 100 meters prior, where Johnson was second ahead of St. Cyr. 75 meters to go, 3:52 high on the clock. In 3 for Clark. At this point, our second and third place positions for St. Cyr and Johnson looking quite solid. And the turn at 350 for 11.56 in 3 for Clark. A seat time of 4:45.72 for Kane Clark of Vernon Kokanee Swim Club into this morning's time finals in the boys 400 free. Provincial standard for the 15-16 age group, a 4:38.90. Need to drop approximately 7 seconds from entry time. Fastest time here, 4:47.37, does exactly that and some change under the provincial standard, 4:38.90. Apologies. 14:40. Cycling back to the girls 400 free. This is heat 6 of the girls 400, heat 11 overall for the combined boys and girls 15-14 400 freestyle. Couple add-ins to our final swim for the 400 freestyle combined racing and girls and boys events. Swimming in lane 012. Got Summer and raid stats for Prince George Barracudas in O, Misty Hayes for Kamloops in lane number 1, and Blake Steele for Kamloops in lane number 2. Swimming in lanes 3 through 6, Sydney Carew for Fort St. John Inc. Canoe Swim Club, Ali Fadigon for Kamloops Classic, Mael Calkins for Terrace Blueback, and Vernon Canoe Swim Club's Gwen Goldie. Lanes 8 and 9. Gavin Stroich for Columbia Shuswap Selkirks and Benjamin Stroich for Columbia Shuswap Selkirks, respectively, are lanes 8 and 9. Fastest 2 times in our 6 heats on the boys' side. Gavin and Benjamin Stroich at 4:43.3 through 4 and 4:46.09 respectively. On the boys' side for the 400 free so far, 443.34 stands now as the high point swim leading into finals tonight. This will stand as well for the 15-16 age group final to be compared against for tonight's finals swims. On the girls' side, top time is a 5:10.92 in lane 2. Blake Seal for Kamloops Classic with that time. Coaches, athletes, and spectators, with the end of our 400 freestyle time finals in this morning's session, that wraps up day 1 prelims. We invite our seated officials to make their way off deck at this time following our referee's long whistle blast. Coaches, athletes, and spectators, thank you for coming, one and all, to our first morning of prelims, our first morning of racing here at the Penticton Community Center for the Northern and Interior BC Divisionals of 2026. We'd like to remind coaches, athletes, and spectators that warm-ups begin this afternoon at 3:30, conclude at 4:15. We'll be getting day 1 finals underway at 4:30. Enjoy your afternoon break, and we'll catch you back for 4:30 and the start of finals with the girls' 200-meter individual medley. On your way out of the facility, we encourage you all to again check out Esquire Wholesalers pop-up shop upstairs in meeting room number 2. It will be on sale, pausing this afternoon, but resuming sales until 7 o'clock this evening. They will be back 9 till 7 tomorrow, and at the pool 9 till 12 on Sunday, so lots of time thus far. We'd also like to remind coaches, athletes, and spectators, starting up, we have a food truck out front, parked in the lot of the community center, the northeast entrance, when you exit. Queen City Eats food truck will be running their sales 3 till 6 today, 9 till 6 on Saturday, and 9 till 6 on Sunday. If you're looking for any food heading into finals tonight, make sure to visit Queen City Eats food truck in the parking lot. And to coaches, scratch deadline for finals is being called as 11:40. Please have all scratches into media administration for finals tonight by 11:40 this afternoon.
nothing to compensate. I need to set it straight, yeah. They don't understand, they don't understand. They don't understand, they don't understand. I've been worried with my troubles all day. I've been trouble with my worries until my people tell me they got me.
felt good to be running around all over. Can't get one? Where did you go?
Well, I went to the event center.
Yeah. I might have one at home. I will go check, and if I don't have one at home, I'll be back or something.
She's just grabbing her binder for a copy of the Flurry of Time.
Yeah.
I don't think she's leaving.
Yep. Okay. Yeah. It was just what a pain.
Yeah.
I know. I know. Well, you're just sitting here waiting.
I was gonna go grab some food, but then Erin was like, "Oh, but there's food coming."
Yeah, she just said that, it should be here pretty soon. So, yep, there you go.
There I go.
You don't have to go anywhere.
Not yet.
Are you doing the provincials?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yep. I will be there.
Yeah.
It's my hometown.
Yeah. Well, that'll be good. I'm gonna go down for that too.
Oh, won't we?
Yeah, all 4 days. I said, well, need me for any of these days. 1, 2, 3, 4.
They're like,
Okay.
yes, we need you for these days.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, all
All
4
of
is
them.
good.
Every single one.
Yeah.
Every single one.
You like that type of microphone, eh? It's classy.
I mean, it's tricky because the exterior makes it look quite nice, but
Yeah.
what I've learned over the years of using it is that the interior, the actual like mechanics of it, the capsule it's not the best. So it's an entry level microphone that looks a little bit nicer than it.
Yeah. Oh, that's good.
But yeah, no, I think like it works pretty well for me.
Yep.
And
That's good.
I'm gonna keep using it until there's some reason that I can't keep using it.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it looks classy.
It's nice.
Yeah.
It's nice.
Yeah.
I do appreciate the optics of it.
Yeah. No.
I do wish that there was some more retro style ones that were a little bit more quality, but people seem to like the newer age looking for higher quality ones.
Yeah. I think I got my that's mine for Facebook.
Right.
I was in radio, but I was also in fire service.
Okay.
And that's my picture.
That looks very similar to like the first.
Yeah, it does. It does. That's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it might be modeled after that. I mean, like you see in a lot of period films, unless it's a very specific look or dating back farther than that. Because I think this was they use a lot of these in like kind of like early 1900s pieces, but anything beyond that, they'll have to source like an actual authentic microphone or something that's something who's further or
Yeah.
custom built.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh!
You doing serving too?
Thank you.
Warm. Oh,
is the one thing to be like, it's unfortunate, but you know, when you have an actual physical copy of something, especially in the field, right? They become like, I don't know how old some of these kids are, but that's that.
You know, what he does is, he says before you transfer it over to digital, put it in a dehydrator. Put it in a dehydrator and warm up the tape. And then you'll get a nice clear sound to that first digital recording. Okay, that makes sense. And it does something to the tape that makes the sound a lot crisper.
Didn't you know?
But I know, like, I remember back in the 70s when I was doing a mobile disco, I'd have to take a great big unit with 2 turntables. I actually had a card machine on there too. And then all my records. Now, you just need a computer. You don't need anything.
Yeah. I mean, depending on who you talk to, there's a lot of people who lament that fact. Like, there's people who will. There's a hierarchy of it. You
Yeah.
know, like these days, there are still a lot of people who revere people who DJ on vinyl. But a lot of people will. They won't go fully physical with their setup, but they will use like CDJs, or they'll use a set of digital like decks, but you can do it fully digital, and a lot of people don't really respect that.
No.
Essentially, it's kind of like press the button.
I know.
Especially if it's all pre-recorded, right?
Yeah. Well, I used to when I used to do weddings.
Yeah.
I used to go out and find out what the song was that the bride and groom would dance in the first dance, and I'd go out and buy a 45, and I would play that 45, and then I would give it to the master. And here is the song and the record that was played for your first dance, and it's only been played that once, right? So you know, and that used to be good. Now, what do you give them? Here's your stick. The song's on there, right? You know.
Yeah. Yeah. Give them your set list. That's it.
I got so much records at home. I want to put them out on display now. I bought a place up in town. I've got a basement and a movie theater in it, and it's got a great big room with all my records.
I assume you have a mechanic trying to get it.
I have a technique for it now. so nice to watch.